you have to paint the vision for the company, but you also have to align with their personal goals and values and show them why it's important for us to get there. So I think this is so huge with engaging any employee, but especially younger employees. And it seems like there's a trend for Gen Z of wanting to be more mission focused in their work. They're not just looking for a job. So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, that's 100% accurate. I mean, the millennials were always considered more purpose-driven than before. I think Gen Z is like flip that on its head, right? They talk a lot about mission and purpose and value, but I think the misconception is that they define value exclusively as like doing good or your altruism, and that's not really what it is. It's having a sense of purpose. So like having some ownership, feeling responsible, getting good feedback. So you're motivated to do more. And I think that that's something as a leader you can really foster, right? So a lot of the data is showing that Gen Z are desperate for more interaction with their senior leaders. They're desperate for career advice, learning and development opportunities, all of those things. They want to feel like someone is invested in their growth because they are quite growth minded. They are quite individualistic. They're quite entrepreneurial. Like they do, this is all based on the data and some of my anecdotal evidence, but they really do want to feel like they're part of something. So as a leader, you need to invest in them, I would say, in creative ways. So we can't give every Gen Z employee a dedicated, executive coach, right? But there are ways, and it's one of the things I do, and one of the things that seems to be really effective, of providing those kind of learning and development programs through like group coaching settings. So you can foster community, give professional skills with a like-minded group, right? So that's one way that we've seen has been really effective in teaching those skills to Gen Z.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I think there are a lot of creative ways. I appreciate that you said that word, because I think a lot of older leaders feel like they have to do it the way it's always been done, or that people are still signing up for careers that are 40 years long with a pension and stuff. And that's just not the way the world of work is. So work has changed, but also I think the workers have changed. And sometimes finding somebody to not necessarily be a gig worker for you, but maybe like a mission that they're coming to your company for 3 to 5 years to learn a skill, to get an opportunity, and they may move on, but you would rather train, develop, and encourage people to move on and advance in their career than get somebody that's going to get stuck in a low-level job for the next 10 years. And I'm hoping more leaders have realized that. But what's your feeling about how we can do right by young workers that might be changing jobs more? And it just happens in life. Again, when you're younger, you're trying to find out what your thing is. You're trying to find the right opportunity. You're trying to get advancements in pay. That once you get older, you slow down on the job hunt, but we would expect them to maybe turn over a little bit higher. Is that true? Is there anything we can do to prevent it, or is it even a bad thing?
I mean, I think an engaged employee is a productive employee. Right. So I think, washing your hands clean of them early on is just a disservice to your company because we talk a lot about these days, like quiet quitting, the great resignation, all of those things. That's people who aren't getting their needs met. Now, if you don't know what their needs are, you're not even going to be able to, try and meet them. So the first thing, it comes back to this sort of curiosity mindset. This is how I encourage and work with organizations to work across intergenerational differences. Like, be curious, because the way it's always been before inevitably cannot be the way forever. And I think that when we're talking about this and really generational differences, we're talking about conflict, right? Like we think, generational differences is different. That means there's conflict, and conflict pushes us into fight or flight, right? Conflict is a threat. And I always sort of ask my older clients or leaders sort of to consider, what do you feel threatened by exactly by the change? Be honest. You don't have to tell the staff that, but you need to be honest with yourself. Are you fearful of becoming, having less value? Are you fearful of being replaced? Are you fearful of losing control? What is the underlying fear? Because you sit in that fear, you will sit in fight or flight.